Alright, let's dive into something that's been buzzing in the political sphere lately, the 2026 Hawaii primary election results. Now, I know what you're thinking, another election breakdown? But trust me, this one's worth your attention. Hawaii's political landscape is a fascinating mix of local dynamics, national trends, and unique cultural influences. And the 2026 primaries? They are a goldmine for understanding where the state is headed. So, let's break it down, not just the results, but what they mean and why they matter. First off, the timing of this election is interesting. August 8th, a Saturday, not your typical election day. Personally, I think this is a smart move. It gives more people the chance to vote without conflicting with work schedules. But here's the kicker, ballots had to be turned in by 7 p.m. sharp. That's a tight window, especially for a state with such diverse geography. What many people don't realize is that Hawaii's islands are spread out, and getting ballots in on time can be a logistical challenge. This raises a deeper question: how does this affect voter turnout, especially in rural areas? It's a detail I find fascinating, and it could have implications for future elections. Now, let's talk about the big races. At the top, we've got the incumbents, Josh Green for governor, Sylvia Luke for lieutenant governor, and others like Ed Case and Jill Tokuda in Congress. What makes this really interesting is the lack of major upsets. In my opinion, this reflects a broader trend in Hawaii politics: stability. The Democratic Party has a strong hold here, and incumbents rarely face serious challenges. But here's where it gets intriguing. What does this say about voter sentiment? Are Hawaiians content with the status quo, or is there a lack of compelling alternatives? If you take a step back and think about it, this stability could be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it suggests trust in leadership. On the other, it might indicate a lack of fresh ideas or competition. One thing that immediately stands out is the dominance of Democrats in the state Senate and House. I mean, just look at the list, it's a sea of DS, with only a handful of RS sprinkled in. From my perspective, this isn't just about party loyalty, it's about the issues that matter most to Hawaiians. Environmental policies, affordable housing, and tourism management are huge here. Democrats have traditionally aligned more closely with these priorities, but what this really suggests is that the Republican Party in Hawaii needs to rethink its strategy. Personally, I think they've got an opportunity to appeal to voters by focusing on local economic concerns, but they are not quite there yet. Now, let's zoom in on the islands themselves. Take the Big Island, for example. The council members elected here are a mix of familiar faces and newcomers. What's fascinating to me is how local issues like land use and agriculture play such a big role in these races. Heather Kimball, Jen Kagiwara, these names might not be national headlines, but they are huge in their communities. And that's what makes local elections so compelling. They are about the nitty-gritty issues that directly impact people's lives. In my opinion, this is where democracy feels most alive. Maui and Kauai also have their own stories to tell. Richard Bisson as mayor of Maui, that's a name to watch. His focus on sustainable tourism and infrastructure could set a precedent for other islands. And on Kauai, Derek Kawakomi's re-election as mayor speaks volumes about his popularity. But what many people don't realize is that these island-specific races often reflect broader trends. For instance, the push for sustainability and local control isn't just a Maui or Kauai thing, it's a statewide movement. If you take a step back and think about it, these elections are like pieces of a puzzle, showing us the bigger picture of Hawaii's future. So, what's the takeaway here? Well, for one, Hawaii's 2026 primaries are a reminder of the power of local politics. These races might not grab national headlines, but they are where real change happens. Personally, I think we often overlook the importance of these elections, but they are crucial for understanding the pulse of a community. Another thing that's clear is the Democratic Party's stronghold in the state. But here's a thought: is this dominance healthy for democracy? Competition breeds innovation, and right now, there's not a lot of that in Hawaii's political landscape. Finally, let's not forget the voters themselves. The fact that these elections happened on a Saturday, with a tight ballot deadline, says a lot about the challenges of civic engagement. It's not just about who's running, it's about who's voting and how. This raises a deeper question. How can we make the democratic process more accessible and inclusive? It's something I've been thinking about a lot, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. So, there you have it, a deep dive into Hawaii's 2026 primaries. It's more than just numbers and names, it's about trends, challenges, and opportunities. What do you think? Is Hawaii's political landscape a model for others, or is there room for improvement? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more analysis like this. Thanks for watching.